Welcome to another NRV episode. I'm Mason.
And I'm Ashley.
Today we're going to talk about our experience buying a new RV.
And unfortunately, some of the maintenance issues that we had and our experience working with the warranty of Forest River.
Yeah, we had to deal with this stuff within the first few days of owning our brand new RV. So just because you buy a new RV doesn't mean you're free and clear.
Hopefully our experience will shed some light into what you may experience if you're thinking about buying a new RV yourself.
So stay tuned for more. So our mentality when we were looking and shopping for an RV was to buy a new one because we assumed if we had a new one, it's going to be like a car and it's going to have a warranty. And if anything goes wrong, we're going to be good. It'll be taken care of by the warranty.
And I also didn't want to deal with the headache of maintenance issues. So I figured if we're buying a new RV, there won't be maintenance issues at least for several years down the road. The very first night, we even had a small issue that we found because our shower was leaking.
Yeah. So that one we actually were able to solve ourselves. We had to go to the Home Depot and get some silicone, and we ended up sealing our shower ourselves. But still, brand new RV, leaking shower, it leaked all over the floor.
It just wasn't what we were expecting. And the major issue that we were dealing with was actually our black tank.
Yeah.
Ew.
Pretty gross, I know. So we noticed it doing our first Blackwater tank flush, which was a very exciting time. So we noticed there was some stuff dripping out of that, and we panicked pretty much immediately.
We didn't really know exactly what to do, so we looked on Google, of course. That's the only thing we knew how to do for mechanics in the area.
Yeah, we thought because it was a serious issue, we had to deal with it immediately because black water stuff leaking onto the RV site or out of your RV, we were like, this is not good. So we called a mobile mechanic, just one we found on Google.
Had pretty good reviews.
And he came out within a few hours. So we were happy about that.
Yes, and this was on a Friday, correct?
Yes.
Which is important because when he looked at it, he realized that he didn't have the parts in order to fix it. So he had to call around and try and find them.
Yeah, and we were in such a panic. We didn't even look into our warranty or anything like that. We were like, we'll ask for forgiveness later. We need to get this dealt with immediately.
Right.
I went into this with a stereotype that getting a warranty issue fix is several weeks long because they're always booked out. So we didn't even really call any dealers. And we were also really afraid to move our trailer just because it was leaking like that.
And it was our first day. So
literally our first day.
we didn't think to do that. So we got the mechanic out there. He ended up ordering the parts. And unfortunately, it was after noon, which was the cutoff to get the part. So the part didn't arrive until Monday. So here we are, stuck in our RV and not really knowing what to do.
Yeah, we were so afraid, and the mechanic actually took apart our Blackwater tank flush valve, so we couldn't even use our own toilet or anything this whole time, which was extremely inconvenient, and he was saying that the part was super hard to find and he couldn't find it. So on Monday, the part came in, the mechanic fixed it that night, and, well, it still ended up leaking.
Tuesday morning, when we noticed it was still leaking, we ended up calling Forest River because that's who we purchased our trailer from, and they were really good to us. They did not reimburse us for the $100 service call that the mobile mechanic charged, but they were gracious enough to reimburse us for the additional costs.
But it was almost $600 in labor and parts for the mechanic to not even actually do the job correctly. So we're still waiting on that check to come in. We had to bite that, and they did say it was a one-time kind of courtesy to us because we were, new to this experience, and we didn't know that we had to go through a Forest River dealer.
Yes, we decided to get the heck out of Las Vegas, which is where we were, and actually head to our destination here in Heber City and called around to all of the dealers that the Forest River customer service representative gave us.
Yeah, and that was a little bit tough because we're also in the mountains right now. It's snowing, and there was a few places that had availability maybe 2 weeks out. There was one place that was like, we're booked for 3 months. But we were fortunate enough to find a mechanic that was about an hour away from us that said they could get us in about a few days later.
Yeah, we found that one. And then we also found another one. Stewart's RV had availability a week later. So there are options if you just call around. Don't assume the stereotype that the dealers are going to take 3 months to get you in. That's not necessarily true. Keep calling until you can find somebody, because there were a couple options with availability pretty soon.
And maybe we were lucky too because it is winter right now. It's not peak season. So that might have been in our favor. But we also were reiterating to people that we are full time. So if you're not full time, then maybe you have the flexibility to deal with this. But us being full time, that had a whole nother set of hurdles that we had to deal with.
But it also had its set of benefits. We ended up going with Next Level Mechanics.
Yep.
And because we were full time, they were able to squeeze us in a little earlier, I think, than they normally would have. And not only that, when we arrived there at 9:30 a.m., they got us right in, and they worked on it all day long. They closed at 6, and we got our trailer back a little after 6 p.m.
They were incredible. I couldn't believe that they were actually able to get it done. They found several other leaks. It turned out that our entire underbelly of our trailer has flooded due to our outside shower leaking, which we had never even opened. Crazy. So brand new RVs do not necessarily work perfectly right out the gate.
Yeah, what we had said in the beginning of the video was that we wanted to buy a new RV so that we didn't have to deal with maintenance issues and that it was under warranty. However, we have been dealing with maintenance issues since we got it, and the warranty is a little more complicated than we had thought.
So, if you're looking to buy a new RV, just be aware that you're not free and clear of maintenance and mechanical issues.
Take it from our experience, it's not necessarily as easy as it seems. The mobile mechanic caused more damage than he actually fixed, and we've heard from many people now that mobile mechanics, they're not usually the best source for service. They can be good if you get a referral maybe from other people who are full-timers or a mobile mechanic referral from the park. Those might be two of the best places to start instead of having to go through a dealership like we had to.
Yeah, it's been interesting living full-time. We get a lot of advice and we talk to a lot of people, and I don't know. I mean, we're probably trading in our current travel trailer for another new fifth wheel. So we're going to start this process over, but you know, a lot of people do recommend buying a used one because they say that after a year or so, kind of all of the weird quirkiness kind of gets flushed out. So you might want to consider that.
Absolutely. And if you're considering going to a dealer, we were also told that the big box stores such as Camping World or similar, they typically will treat you like a number, and they're not necessarily going to care as much about your RV or even if you're full time. So if you find a smaller service station, you'll want to call them, make sure, because I hate to say an umbrella statement that they're all a particular way, but from what we've heard and what we've experienced, the smaller service centers, they are going to treat you like a real person. They're going to take that extra step to make sure that you're taken care of.
So we hope this is beneficial. I really wish I had known this information before we started full-timing, and I hope that helps somebody out there.
Yeah, so don't just Google any mechanic near you. Go ahead, try and find some referrals, and call smaller service stations in your area if you need to use your warranty.
Yeah, so if you found this video useful and you want to see more of them, subscribe to us on YouTube and follow us on Instagram @NAR Outdoors.
Yeah, we'll be documenting our experience living full time.